sidewalk, everywhere. And we noticed that was obviously an issue. It's one of the quality of life issues that we thought would be something to address. So they went out on their own and began, when they saw something that was on something like a mailbox or a sign or something like that, they went ahead and just found something, some type of cleaner to remove it. Well, since then it's expanded, as Bill said, and with private property, they've contacted the owners and tried to get cooperation, which they have, and several businesses that had damage or graffiti on their buildings or walls in their parking lots have been removed on their own, either with our assistance or done on their own. So to us, that was one of the issues that we thought that's one of the ways to clean up the city. But the primary goal was observation, an extra set of eyes and ears for the police department. And along with those quality of life issues, they go out, like they say, a couple nights a week, 12 hours a night, and are out with the donation, or with the radios they bought with the donation money, and are in contact with the police officers if necessary. They report any suspicious activity. They do not take any enforcement action. So the police officers have been very receptive. They go out and they check on them. They drive by, make sure they're okay. They go out and they report in with our dispatch and are in constant contact. If something comes up, they report it either over the radio or on the cell phone and have an officer meet them there, or if a citizen requests it. While they've been out, I went out with them several times, and the reception from the citizens has been extremely positive also. They walking down the street, you hear cars honking their horns, people clapping on their porches for them, coming down and talking to them. So it's been really well received. What we're looking for next is recruitment, and that is what we want to do. We want to get the word out that this is not just, even though it started in the west side of Norwood, it's a citywide project. We want to go out and we want to make sure that all the citizens of Norwood are aware of the program, and anybody's eligible, anyone over the age of 21 preferably. They can come and see me. I can give them an application form and fill it out and do a quick talk, and we have 4 times a year the City of Cincinnati puts on their Citizens on Patrol Academy. We send them through that. We do give them training and orientation with the way we do things, and they go out with the Citizens on Patrol shortly after that. So the goal here tonight is to make you aware of what we've done, and also make you aware of where we're headed and where we want to go with this. The graffiti, like I said, has become an issue, but that's not the only thing. We want to expand it into other areas, and this is the way we want to, what we want to do is get the word out. So that's really all I have, if anyone has any questions.
One question, so if anybody wants to contact somebody, they would contact you?
Contact me. My number is 458-4545. I'm working Monday through Friday in City Hall in the administration offices. Please call.
Is there any chance you could put something on Norwood Cable with that information?
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you. We are looking at a cable show. We've talked to Norwood Cable, and they are going to help us out, and we're going to put together a small presentation with what the Citizens on Patrol are, as well as try to put up some graphics when the show is not on. But we're looking to get that on the air maybe sometime in the spring. I'm hoping around March or so.
Good.
So we do have flyers out, and we're also planning on getting a flyer out also. But again, everything comes from donation money. It has been at no cost to the city, and we're early in stages, but I think it's going to be a successful program.
Well, we love that kind of program.
What about when's your next class that's coming up?
The Cincinnati Citizens Police Academy is, I believe the first date is going to be February 20th, and then I think that's a Wednesday or Thursday, I'm not sure.
21st.
21st is the first day.
Thursday.
It's a Thursday, it's 4 hours, and then the following Thursday after that, 4 hours, and the Thursday after that. And then after that, we have monthly meetings, the second Monday at 7 o'clock down at the police substation, and we'll have an orientation for anybody that's new to the program, and once they do that, then they can go out with other experienced members of the patrol.
Mr. Moore.
Thank you. The graffiti alone is an incredible thing. I mean, there are specific corners I'm thinking of that are, that when that building was tagged, suddenly this whole surrounding area looked worse, looked horrible. And getting that off, you can see the difference. There's absolutely no question about it. Just if it was just the graffiti alone, I would call this a resounding success, because the impact of that on my psyche, just walking or driving through my neighborhood, is just huge. It's like it's an incredible thing.
When you first go through and you're driving down the street, you may not necessarily pay attention to the marker on the sign. When you're walking down the street, it becomes much more obvious, because you're not going by it at 25 miles an hour, you're walking it by it at 3 miles an hour. And little things like that become much more obvious, and sometimes to the neighborhood, they see it and it almost becomes part of, the scene. The goal is to not make it part of the scene, and when they see it, if they see it gone the next day, hopefully it's not going to come back. There have been a couple of spots that Bill and Vivian have told me about that have come back. They've gone back, followed up on it, and have seen within a couple of weeks, seen the same marking or another marking in the same area. First thing they do is they go and take it off. So you've got to keep up with it, and we encourage citizens to report these issues too. Let me know, because they can go out. If there's something they don't see, we can go out and take care of it. And if it's private property, we can contact the owner and make them aware of it and tell them we'll be more than happy to help out. Yes?
What's the current wisdom on graffiti in terms of who's doing it? What do we know about who's doing it, why they're doing it, what parents can look for? Your gut assumption is that it's younger folks, people,
Yes.
teenagers. What in the police department? How is it looked at right now, and what should we be looking for?
I don't have any solid facts on that. However, I do know that when it comes to the markers, a lot of the high school younger kids will walk around with the markers, and if you notice the directions home from school, the businesses, you'll see, the main thoroughfares, you'll see the little markings. And so I caught several kids over at the Foundation Bank a month and a half ago, and I was coming home from work. I watched, they were headed right for the area. The manager had complained to me several times. I walked in, I introduced myself, talked to her on the phone, and we waited, and they sat down, and the marker came out. And as soon as we came out, they, got their names, and fortunately they didn't mark anything up. But the business is trying to keep an eye on it as best they can. They can't keep an eye on it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, and police officers can only be so many places that, we can't be everywhere all the time. So that's why we encourage the citizens, if they see something like that, it's small, I know, but again, one leads to another, and that's what we want to say. If it's gone, nobody sees it, then they think, well, this is a pretty decent area, it's not going to get marked up, because one will lead to another. And the other ones, you've got the kids, but you've got some of the more elaborate ones out on the highway. Those are the artists who want to make a name for themselves wherever on the internet, and those people will walk around with backpacks. They'll have respirators, they'll have